I'm Paige Hansen, and I am the coordinator for the Film Acting Academy and the Film Production Academy. So we have a Film Acting Academy, which is going to its third year, and we're just starting up a Film Production Academy. And the academies are going to work together, and the kids making movies are going to work with the kids acting in movies. Kids are going to come together every second day for 2 hours, and they are going to have the opportunity to work with professionals who are working in the film industry. Delta is this really unique little area that has tons of people working in the film industry in it, whether they live in Point Roberts or Ladner, Tawasin. There's just tons of people that work in the industry, and we have been lucky enough to develop relationships with them. And a lot of times people who have been helped out in their careers, they remember what that was like, wanting to get into it and wanted to experience the excitement of it. And so they're very generous and willing to come back and work with young people and share their knowledge and help them make connections. So the kids are going to work with not only instructors that actually have worked in the film industry for years, on both sides, on the creative and technical and also in front of the camera, but they're also going to have guest speakers come in, whether it be casting agents, directors, but these are people that really work in the industry and make their living doing this right now. And the idea is to help a kid become industry ready to launch their career, so when they leave our school system, and they can either head straight into the film industry or more post-secondary education in that area, but they're going to be a huge step ahead. So the people that we're working with in the Film Acting Academy are Richard Cox, Tracy Neff, Carol Davis, and Desiree Kleeman. Now Richard was a child star, like a legit child star, as the boy in the Black Stallion, working with Mickey Rooney from the age of 14 on. I can't remember how many years it was on television. It was a huge show, huge. So he understands what it's like to be a teenager and go after a dream like this, and he knows what it takes. So that's a really unique teacher, because not only did he have success as a young person, but he's continued on, and that's what he does for a living, you know. And he's also a voice actor. He's very well known in voice acting circles. Inuyasha was one of his lead roles. He was Inuyasha in that anime. And Being Ian, one of YTV's top-rated television shows for kids, works actively. So he's an amazing instructor, and the kids love him, and the kids are challenged by him. And he's super funny, so the kids spend a lot of time laughing too, which is pretty cool and pretty important to young people. And then we've got our voice teachers. We've got Tracy Neff, who studied at the Boston Conservatory, and we've got Carol Davis, who is an Alexander Technique teacher, one of very few teachers in British Columbia. And it's something I learned in university in my BFA, BA training. So it's a very important type of training to learn about how your body moves and alignment and how you come across on camera. It's a really unique thing for kids to be able to get at this age in their life, as opposed to only getting it at the secondary level. Who else? Desiree Kleeman. Desiree is a former dancer with the Winnipeg Contemporary Dancers. Worked with some of the top choreographers in Canada, and now owns her own yoga studio in Point Roberts, Madrona Yoga. And her work with the kids, you can see it online. We've got some stuff posted on our Facebook page, but it's pretty unique, and it's all geared at how do I move and how do I come across on the camera, and where do my limbs end, and really some creative stuff happening just on its own in those classes, movement and voice. And then we've got a section called The Biz, and that's something that I teach. And we go on set, we have agents, casting directors, workshops, leaders from voice acting to commercials, and I oversee that. And that's a really unique thing for a teenager to be able to do, to actually go on set, to actually have, we had the star of YTV's Mr. Young come out yesterday, and I spent 3 hours with the kids talking about how he got into the film industry. Like, it's real, and he's the same age as them. So, that's an exciting portion of what they study, is the biz. And then we've got the Film Production Academy, and we've got a whole new roster of teachers. Now, first and foremost, we've got Richard Cox teaching script writing in the Film Production Academy. And that's really important because he's the go-between between the two academies and really making that connection so everybody, what they're going to be shooting over here, that the kids acting are ready for that. So that's Richard Cox again, who's a scriptwriter as well. And then we've got Sandra Almond, who is a visual effects producer. She's been working in film for probably 20 years. She started down at Industrial Light and Magic. That's not a bad instructor to have, somebody who worked at ILM with, you know, George Lucas crew. So pretty good, I think. So she'll be working with the kids, learning how to actually produce a show. So looking at all the financial and legal and logistical aspects of actually doing a production. Then we've got Garner Campbell. It's really important to me that in this day and age, not only does a kid learn how to make a movie, but how do you get the world to see it? So we want to be able to look at social media, and that's where Garner Campbell, who's a filmmaker in his own right, he'll come in and help the kids learn how to use social media, you know, Facebook, Twitter, all that, to actually get people to see your work, and even look at financing and how to get financing for your work. So that's exciting. The next instructor I would want to tell you about is Ron Yoshida. Now, Ron has worked in Vancouver since the very beginning of Vancouver's film industry. Worked on shows like 21 Jump Street, Highlander, just every show that put Vancouver on the map, Ron worked on. So these young people will get to work with an editor that has a long history of work in Vancouver and connection to the community. So that's pretty cool. And then last but not least, at the Film Production Academy, we're going to be working with Oliver Glazer. And Oliver is a director of photography, and he's worked both locally and internationally. And he is one of the most amazing, passionate, tenacious people I know. And the kids are going to love him, and they'll be learning about how to use the camera and just the technical aspects of shooting something. They're going to learn from Oliver. This year, we're going to be starting the Film Production Academy in a different location from the Film Acting Academy has been for the last 2 years. In fact, we're going to move both academies to Ladner, to Delta Manor, and we've got a big studio space, so it's going to be called The Studio, and kids from Tawasin, from SDSS, can hop a bus and at noon and come and be dropped off right here at the studio and then taken back. And then for kids in the area, we're right beside the bus loop. So, you know, we're hoping that we'll get kids from Richmond, Vancouver, you know, North Delta. Certainly we've had kids come for the Film Acting Academy from different places, and the Delta School District is set up so that the timetables are the same at every high school. So a kid from DSS can come for the last 2 blocks every second day straight from their school, and they work seamlessly. So there's no problem with that. You can go to DSS for part of it. You can go to Seacom. You can go to, you know, whatever high school you're at. And we hope that we're able to get kids from other districts that, you know, that are super excited about making films and being in the film industry. So we're already seeing with the film acting kids the fruits of their training. So when I look at the Film Production Academy, I can only begin to imagine what's going to happen when you take the kids in the Film Acting Academy who are so well trained and put them together. Kids are going to walk out of here and they're going to get jobs. The quality of instructors that they're working with are as good as any post-secondary school in Vancouver that you could go to, because the instructors are that good. So here's the real reason that we worked on the Film Production Academy and the Film Act Academy. Hockey, Canada skills. Baseball, who needs that? Soccer, who wants that? Lacrosse, dance, well maybe, okay, I like that one, we can keep that one, we'll keep that one. So this is the real reason, because we had no fine arts academies, and I was feeling a little lonely out there. I think all the fine arts teachers were. We need to do this. All right, I'm done.